That's it. I either gotta start using my computer for making these videos, or I need better storage on my phone. Because seriously, like, this is like the umpteenth time where a video just stops because it runs out of storage. And here's the thing. I just deleted all the stuff on my phone not even a week ago. It wasn't even 5 videos. And I'm deleting like everything. Everything. Sorry, this sort of frustrates me when because I really was like seconds away from being done with the last one. And then the video just stopped recording. And it just it didn't even save either. So, yeah, looks like I'm doing this again. But at least this time I know, it's not like I forgot what I talked about. I'll just simply talk about it again. And I can talk about it again just fine. Man, I was doing so well. I don't want to do it again if I don't have to. Well, good morning. Happy Thursday, everybody. So, this video it is going to be another Mom Food Chronicles. But before I tell you what it was, I'd like to give a little background because I actually had this mom food just a couple of days ago when I visited my folks. And yesterday I saw a recipe online for the easiest way to make a vegetable soup, which straight up is just you boil vegetables and add salt as needed. Boom. That's all it is. In fact, I'll be honest, the soup I made for myself last night was completely vegan. Yeah, completely vegan. Because it was like onion, carrot, celery, the classic mirepoix, if you will. Garlic, tomato, some vinegar. I used a combination of red wine vinegar and white wine vinegar. Does that make it a rosé vinegar? I don't know. Anyway, use those. Some cabbage for some body, and that was my soup. Oh, I also had frozen corn and frozen peas, just because it sort of helps cool down the soup for a little bit, as well as cook those tiny pieces of corn and peas. It was actually a pretty hearty soup, not gonna lie. And if you really need any fat, just put some olive oil on it. So, yeah, this soup was completely vegan, which, outside of the last time I pickled, and that's another thing too, as I was cooking the soup, I'm like, you know what, I have time. And I got myself far too many onions, because, I love onions. And I've been saving some jars lately. I'll pickle again, why not? And here's the thing, I did buy a lot of onions, and I thought I had, far too many jars, because here's the thing. I'm not really the best when it comes to mapping out all the measurements for a brine, unless it's for a gallon's worth of brine. Because for 1 gallon of brine, it's a gallon of water, a cup of salt, a cup of sugar. In the recipe, I used a cup of vinegar. I used apple cider vinegar and, again, red wine vinegar and white wine vinegar. I think we'll call that apple rosé. I don't know. Some peppercorns, some extra garlic that I had, and boom. I just made a brine with that. And I filled as many of the jars as I could, which I still have several jars that just ran out of onions. And I still ended up having too much brine. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just add the rest of this brine to the soup. Why not? I mean, I had to pick out peppercorns in the soup that I was eating, but it was still a pretty good soup, not gonna lie. So apparently, all along, the secret ingredient to a good vegetable soup is pickle brine. Who knew? So, yeah, all this got me thinking, because, again, it sort of did harken back to a mom food that my mother made just the other day, and one I obviously had growing up, as per every usual mom food. And so, why not talk about it here? And that is hamburger soup. Sounds appealing, doesn't it? Now, as its name suggests, for starters, this soup, unlike the soup I made for myself last night, is no way, shape, or form vegan. I mean, it's hamburger soup. You already know it's going to be beef in there. Now, I say hamburger. Now, hamburger, if it was cheeseburger soup, there'd be cheese in the soup. There was no cheese in the soup that my mom makes. Not at all. Unlike her broccoli and Swiss cheese soup. But like her broccoli and Swiss cheese soup growing up, at first, I didn't like it at all. Because, here's the thing. It's not like the broccoli and Swiss cheese soup where the smell became so obnoxiously fermentingly bad. Is fermentingly a word? I don't know. But it like encompasses the whole house. This soup doesn't do that. It just looks really unappealing because, like, the way you make it, the way my mom would make it is, you know, you brown ground beef in the way you'd probably brown it for, like, I don't know, maybe like a hash or a chili or something, I don't know. And you put, like, all manner of vegetables in it. Usually my mom would do stuff like potatoes, carrots, peas, corn. The latter three of those vegetables, you can simply find them frozen in the store and just pour them in. That works. And, you know, she'll have stuff like onion, maybe some celery, maybe some green beans. Again, it's the kind of soup where, you know, you put all your ingredients in your refrigerator or your pantry. You put it in a pot, let it boil or simmer or stew, and boom, you have your soup. And that's really all it is. And at first, it doesn't really look appealing because not all of the ground beef would be browned, obviously. So you get like sort of unappealing pieces of ground beef that just mesh together just because that's usually what happens when you cook ground beef anyway. And some of the particles from the meat really wouldn't mix well with the broth or the water that my mom would use. Actually, I don't know if my mom uses stock or water. I don't know. But yeah, it really wouldn't mix together, so you have to like stir, and it kind of looks like a really bad salad dressing in a way, where like the fat doesn't mix with the water, unless you like shake it up, you know, vigorously or stir very vigorously or whatever. And sometimes my mom would actually sort of make it better and just get like a chunk of meat, cut pieces in that and sort of do it instead. And, you know, that was fine. I mean, that one's more appealing than doing, like, you know, the hamburger soup. But, you know, I thought the hamburger soup is fine. You know, I eventually grew to like it. You know, I look forward to it. Plus, when you're a kid, you're sort of under the mentality of, you know, you either eat the soup or you're going to starve for the night. And I didn't really want to do that. So, you know, bombs up, and yeah. Plus, I mean, again, my mom has a lot of really crazy food quirks, some of which borderline kind of crazy. One of them technically really isn't much, but something that would turn a lot of people off. And that is, my mom absolutely has to have the soups, like, so incredibly hot that, like, you gotta wait an hour for it to cool off. And if you try and eat it too soon, it's gonna burn your mouth for a month. Eventually, it got to the point during dinner where I'm like, seriously, could you have made the soup any hotter? So I, like, went to the freezer, grabbed, like, a handful of ice cubes, and try and, like, you know, cool it down, which it eventually worked. But, you know, it's the principle of the thing. I'm actually trying to eat dinner here. Can't really eat it if, you know, it's so hot, it's almost inedible. Oh, it's not inedible in any way, but still. I mean, I kind of want to eat it as soon as possible, especially when it's dinner time and I'm not able to eat it when it's right in front of me. It's just so weird and stupid sometimes. I don't know. But yeah, that was my mom's hamburger soup. Again, it's really simple to make. And honestly, I've thought about making it myself, but I get the feeling it's gonna kind of be like making mac and cheese, where like you can imitate making it, but it's just not gonna taste as good as when my mom made it. I don't know. Plus, in the end, the soup I made for myself last night was, pretty good. Again, it's completely vegan, as far as I know. I can't think of any ingredient I put in there that would constitute it not being vegan. I mean, yeah. This soup was actually, and again, it was pretty hearty too. Though, again, I'm not really the greatest at cutting up vegetables, and I did not even remotely try cutting up the cabbage. Like, I cut off, like, the bottom of the cabbage, like, and tried to cut off, like, giant chunks and sort of, like, cut that up as well. And sometimes it would work just fine. Other times, like, not really so much. Which, I like cabbage. I really do. I should consider, like, having that more. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, again, the best part about a soup like this is you really can do whatever it is you want. Although if you are going to make the vegetable soup I made, start with cooking the mirepoix first. Like, let that boil for like 20 minutes and get everything else ready. Because, again, onions, carrots, and celery take the longest to cook all the way through. And then just sort of, cook the rest. And, use the frozen peas and corn as a means to, cool it off. But, yeah. So, in this Mom Food Chronicles, you got not one but two soups to make. Even though the one I made was a soup that I made for the first time ever. And for my first time making it turned out pretty well. Again, I'm still trying to make sure I guess if you want to be technical, it's vegetables and tomato soup. Because tomatoes are not a vegetable, they are a fruit. But, yeah, it was you really need the tomatoes for kind of like some sweetness and acidity. But, man, I just know all sorts of food terms. What can I say? I'm a Food Network guy. But, yeah, it was fun, and, yeah, it was really nice sort of being on my own and trying something different for once. It took a while for me to get everything ready, though, but that was a small price to pay. In the end, I'm glad I did what I did. In terms of what's going on today, nothing much really. I'll probably do like a guys' night in with my old man. That'd be really cool. That'd be really fun. There should be one final episode of Hot Ones where Sean Evans tells a story, because he did when the SWAT team came to his dorm room. He did a scary story, and he had his dad help him tell a story about childhood memories, and I'm kind of interested in seeing what the last one's going to be. It should be fun. I like seeing. Again, with COVID-19, we're not able to do a lot of the stuff that we're allowed to do, which stinks. And I am still kind of sad that it's been as long as it's been, and no new hot ones. But at the same time, they'll come back. Even though season 11 technically ended on kind of a whimper, it was Justin Timberlake. What more could you ask for? If you had to do a season finale on short notice for a show like Hot Ones, I still stand by that Justin Timberlake was a worthy season finale, in spite of everything going on. So, I can't really complain. Plus, everything's going to go back to normal. I really think this is the month where things are going to start turning around in the best possible way. And when we get to July, it's going to be even better. At least I hope so. So, not really much else to say. So, like, favorite, share, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on social media platforms, so I'm just kidding on YouTube. I'm very humbled to make this video for all of you guys who watch and enjoy today. And hopefully you have a wonderful Thursday. Remember, if you guys want to talk, chat, I'm always going to be here, the most certain end here. Always here back. Take care and make good choices. And you know what? Be sure to, if there's something you want to try, go ahead and do it. Seriously, I've been wanting to pickle again for so long. It's just been like a monkey that's been on my back. And I'm glad I did. And I can't wait to do it again. Although I want to have all the pickled onions I made first. So I'll have them as time goes on. Take care.